everybody. Okay. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we want to talk about today now. Okay. We delivered the trust, right? And we asked them, do they want to see their numbers? Randy talked a little bit about it before, but what I want to talk about is what are some of the questions that we want to ask? What are some things that we want to do? So when you come back to me, that we have the right information, okay? And I'd say this: what are some of the mistakes I see other producers do to not get enough information? Because we want to. The biggest thing, and this is what Randy's really good at, and his whole process is, we're not selling them a product. We're just helping them solve their problem, right? And that's what the software does as well, is when you show them their numbers, it says, here is your problem. Here's how to fix it, right? And so and what I'm gonna do a sample case here in a little bit, but the biggest thing, some of the questions that you really want to ask is, well, when do you want to retire? And another question is, and see what they say. Another question asked on top of that is, well, if you could retire now, would you? Not saying you have to. What if you're talking to a 62-year-old or 65-year-old? Sometimes they think they just have to wait till full retirement age, or a lot of people don't know they haven't, right? Until you actually show them their numbers. And it's a great conversation to have with them is, what if I could wave a magic wand? And bam, you have all the income you want. You go where you want to go. What would that number be? And if you could do it right now, would you? Or would you like to be in a position where you can do it whenever you want? Would you like that? I say that too because sometimes, typically the guys, if you tell them, bam, you can try it right now, sometimes they get nervous, because they've been doing something for so long. Sometimes they have to mentally process it for a few months, right? The other thing is, with that, like, I know we're especially since we have ballpark numbers, we don't have to talk about where it's invested or why it's invested, or, exactly the way it is. But what you really want to talk about is, what do you want retirement to look like? Where do you guys want to go? Who do you want to see? How often do you want to do that? What's important to you? Where are the grandkids? It's a big one for most people, right? Or, and that, again, I love Mike's strength is, if I could wave a magic wand, how often do you want to do that? Is it taking, sometimes you really got to pry with people. What are your interests? Is it golf? Is it travel? Is it spending time with the grandkids? What if you could take the grandkids on a Disney cruise every year? How many memories would that create for you? What does that mean? And what you're really getting to, I've stole this from Randy. We steal stuff from each other, actually. Is, what is the true purpose of that money? Why do you have it? Right? Is it there so you can look at a statement? There it is. Look right there. What does that mean? What do you want that for? Right? Because the big thing we really want to try to get to is not what they need, but what they want. Right? And sometimes you really have to probe, and that's okay, because some people haven't taken the time to really think about it. Right? They've just been, a lot of people have been in accumulation for the whole life. Right? And they have to kind of start to mentally process this stuff. So the questions that you ask them help them process that. And sometimes people just don't know. You might have to ask a great question to ask is, well, how much do you make today? Okay, I have to run the assessment. I have to go back to my team. But what if you could have the same income that you have right now? Would you like that? And some people, that would be awesome. Sometimes we can. But also sometimes it helps people, they're making, $15,000 a month and they say, well, I don't really need that, but I bet you. I say, okay, well, would 10 be nice? Yeah, that would be awesome. Okay, let's focus on 10. And initially, Randy's also really good at making multiple sales. For a lot of these ones, we just want to make them a client. So if we get them to 10, later we find out they really need 12. Well, guess what? That's what, Randy? A future sale. But we already made them a client. We already made them an income client. If you've already made them an income client, are they going to go to the other person for that? Or do you think they're going to come back to you? They're going to come back to you, right? Most likely, if you do your job in service, right? So the big thing is asking those questions and really finding out what they want, not what they need. The other thing I'll say I run across a lot is, okay, they're making, let's just call it, let's say they're making, 300,000, 18,000 a month, something like that. Okay. We only need $4,000. We're fine. We only need $4,000. We're making 18 grand a month right now, but we only need 4. Call their bluff. That's a bunch of, you fill in the blank, right? So you're telling me you're going to make $18,000 a year. You're taking trips every year. And when you retire, you only need 4. No. So you got to go back to, okay, what are you going to do? You got to stand on your porch and twiddle your thumbs? Obviously you can say it nicer than that, or you can just say it that way. It's up to you, right? But you got to give them a reality check. So don't let anybody tell you when they're making a lot of money that they only need 4,000, 5,000 a month, because they're going to spend it. They accumulated all those assets to do something with it. And it comes back to the real true purpose of the money, right? Well, so in the data, you found out how much they're making right now, right? So again, just generic example, they're making $18,000 a month right now, and they tell you they only need 4. Well, their Social Security, I bet you it's probably gonna be more than that. Their Social Security, I bet you at least is gonna be about 6. So you're telling me and I would just say, so you're making $18,000 a month and you only need 4? Where are you gonna go? Are you not gonna do anything? You just told me you guys wanted to travel. So you get what I'm saying? Yep. So you're not going to Europe, is what you're saying? Right? Yeah, yep. Yep. That's a big thing, is really asking those questions in that conversation to really, so when you come back to us, now we can reverse engineer the right number. So Randy, you said earlier, what'd you call it? Income from, like, their guaranteed income. What'd you call it again? No. Income from non-producing assets. Income from non-producing assets. That's what it's called. So that's their guaranteed income today. So we need to make sure that we know all their guaranteed income, their Social Security, the wife's Social Security. Do they have a pension? What's the survivorship of that pension? Right? That's going to really matter for the income cliff. Do they have any rental income, land income, farm income, royalty income, something like that? Is there a business buyout? Is there some type of sale of a business coming up? Right?
If they're already retired, when they started drawing pension or Social Security?
You just need to know the payment amount. Yep. And because again, that's going to be the basis of our floor. So all that, the pension, the Social Securities, that adds up to about $7,000 a month. Well, that's going to be our starting point, right? They want 10, they're at 7, they want 10. What's their income gap? 3, right?
Today.
Today. Yep,
Inflation.
we're not gonna get into that right now. So they need 3, right? So, all right, you broke me. If they're concerned about inflation, guess, and they want 10, guess what you do? You give them more. Okay, if you have 11,000 or 12,000, does that cover inflation? Covers it for a long time. And hopefully, and guess what? As you get older, you don't always spend as much either. There's a go-go years and a no-go years, right? You've probably heard that before. Slow go. Yep, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, so, yep. And so counters to that. So the big thing we want to know, what is their guaranteed income today? What are their names? What are their date of births? And really, how much do they want? That's the biggest thing you need, that we're gonna need. That's gonna be, help us solve their income problem.
So. I feel like sometimes it's awkward if they're already retired to ask that. Does that make sense? I mean, like, sometimes it's appropriate, but sometimes it's just feels awkward.
No.
Cause they like act like they already have what they want.
So that's where, if you're asking, so for that person, okay, they got $2 million and I'm again making up numbers here. Their guaranteed income is 6, but they're spending 10. So right now you're spending 10, Bob and Sally. Your guaranteed income is 6. Do you, at this stage of your life, do you want that $10,000 a month to be a sure thing or a maybe? So if that 10,000 fluctuates, is that a bad thing? They're probably gonna say yes. Okay. I'll run my assessment and I'll see what, I'll run the numbers. So which led into, so one of the other power phrases that you want to use, sure thing versus a maybe.
Can I add something?
Yep.
Heather, don't make a judgment.
Yes.
Just ask the question.
Yep.
And don't try to inject the way you feel or anything at all. Just ask the question and let them answer you. Move.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm really good at asking other questions, getting information, but I don't know to think a little bit deeper to call their bluff or, you know what I mean, that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. That's where I'm struggling.
So some of that first appointment checklist has a bunch of those questions on it. Yep. So sure thing versus a maybe. We want $10,000 a month. Well, do you want that as a sure thing versus a maybe? All right. Again, I don't know how, I need to run the assessment. But I'll come back and I'll show you your numbers. The other thing I would add on top of that is socialize the word annuity at that, it would be a good, at that point as well. Is because if you can say, you know, I'm gonna run my assessment, my team and I'll get your numbers, but you know, I might look at something like an annuity. And just see their reaction. Good, bad, or indifferent, right? The only reason I socialize the word annuity is just so that if their reaction is bad, now we can educate them. Anybody who doesn't like annuities, it doesn't make them bad. Most people are just uneducated. Or they are educated about the old style annuities. Right? And so we can say, oh, Andy, you crossed your arms there. What do you not, you don't like annuities?
Heard they're bad.
You're right. Some are bad. What else?
They limit your upward growth forever.
Some do.
What is it? What did you say?
So I have a friend who I pitched this, or I discussed with him, and he was worried about, you know, earning more in his portfolio was kind of, you know, expensive account than inside the annuity, but we wanted to guarantee income. So. Context that, so yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Some do.
Yeah.
What else? You're right. Some do.
I like what Stringer says.
Yeah.
I don't like them either unless they work.
I hate annuities too, but I love what they do. So you're right, some lock up your money, some don't have great growth, some aren't liquid, you're right, some are, but you're talking about revocable versus irrevocable annuities. And you're right, some are bad, but I actually, with my clients, I only use the good ones that don't lock up your money, that don't have high fees, that, don't have any growth on them. So when I run the assessment, I don't know if that's going to make sense or not yet, but when I run the assessment, is it okay if I look at one of the good ones? What do you think they're going to say? They act, oh no, don't look at the good ones. That's a bad idea.
Question that I've had to me, I get a little bit of information. Randall is like a full load of information, and sometimes I'll grab a pinch of it and then try to present it without all the rest of it. And I think that I've done that in a situation where I was trying to create an income for somebody, and they told me that the fees from the annuity defeats their purpose of the income. So taking their cash that right now has no fees on it, putting it into an annuity, and then paying a monthly income and having to pay out fees was not beneficial for them.
It's a great question. It comes down to what is their real problem? And the real problem is they're going to run out of money.
Right, but they'll run out of money if it's an annuity as well, but they not.
No. So once, even if the benefit of the income rider or the personal pension, let's call it, even when that money runs out, they still keep paying you. And so that's their loan. That's it. Yep. And so their income is net of all fees. Yeah, there's a fee. Your income is net of all fees.
Would you say your income what?
Is net of all fees.
And the checklist that you were referring to, is that the agenda for the conversation first and interview? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, we have sent it to you before. I can resend it. So. All good questions. Some case by case individual conversations. All right, let's keep moving on. Let's go through a case. All right. This is your Bob and Sally. I know many of you have actually seen it before, but I'm gonna add a little twist to it as well. I'm gonna add some long-term care and I'm gonna add some AUM on there for our securities people. Okay. Let me kind of share my screen here super quick.
I found it, like, I'll send it to Lynn.
Awesome. All right. So this is Bob and Sally. They're very famous people. So Bob and Sally, let's just go through this case. So this, you know what? I think. Can you guys still hear me? I go like this. Did not think that part through.
Yes,
Maybe
we can hear you.
Recommend using the chair instead of the edge of the podium.
This, you guys have seen this before, not have you guys in-house here will be.
Full screen?
I'd have to send it to this laptop. Yeah, they can see it online. So Bob and Sally, they are 65. All right. They're 65. They got about 115,000 in the bank. They have most of their money in qualified assets. They have they said, when do you want to retire? They said 67. And they have some money in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. They have some money in the real, they have 2 houses. They have a beach house. They do have some long-term care. They do have some term life insurance. That is your second sale. Always solve the income first. Because guess what is not within the annuity? Underwriting. Somebody says they're healthy, and then when they go under underwriting, they're not, and all of a sudden, it's your fault that they ate cheeseburgers and potato chips or something. That's your fault that they did that, right? Then you lose the annuity sale. So do the annuity first. Actually, I have a producer right now that taken 6 months for long-term care to go issue. He got paid $300,000 on annuity 6 months ago. Try to tell him. Okay. All right. So They have, Bob has a pension with a 50% survivorship. And they got social security. They got a couple kids. So these guys living in Maryland and the grandkids are in North Carolina. Where do you think they're going? They're going to North Carolina. So the worry about the stock market, being able to retire comfortably, no stress, move closer to their grandkids. Bob needs, well, Bob's mom needs about $1,500 a month. They have, so we talked about how much income they need and how much income do they want. So they need $8,000 a month, but 9 would be better. Randy, I'm just thinking here quick. Do you think it would be worth it 5 minutes for me to switch the cord here so that they can see this? Okay. Sorry, everybody online. I did not think that through, nor am I perfect. So this was take me 5 minutes.
Help them figure out shipping, like, because I know that if they want, let's say, I think they want.
I see 5 minutes.
Well, people are like, I don't think, considering like what happens if their costs go up, because of things that medical. Do you have to try to explain to them like what, that it would be more, that their expenses would be more, like everybody's banking on, okay, my expenses are gonna be 5,000. Well, yeah, that's all true as long as, and there's no inflation and nobody's sick.
You're right. So inflation does matter, right? But I will tell you this, the more you get into the weeds, the less you will sell. If let me go through the case and I will show you. Okay? All right. So they need 8, but they want 9. Okay? The next step, so we're going to have a couple things. I might add a couple things here, Randy, is we're going to have a couple things when they come back together. The one thing I'd recommend you have is an asset summary. It's really taking all their assets and putting on one page. It's amazing how many people don't know what their net worth is. Okay? So if we can put that on one easy to read page, it's amazing. They say, hey, Bob and Sally, you're worth 2.2 million. How's it feel? And a lot of people say, not as good as I thought. Right.
Mike mentioned that there's always 3 things that he does, but you only take 2 of them home with you. And what was, I remember what those 3 were again. I relate to that.
Asset summary. And really, there's only one thing. The one thing the one thing you give them is the asset summary. I don't give them an income for life report. I really don't give it. I mean, maybe you can give them the agenda, I guess, if you want to. I really don't have to. But what I don't do is I don't give them I do not give them the income for life report. If you give them the income for life report, what are they going to do? Hey, Eddie down the street. Hey, Ray. Hey, Charles. Right? What do you think of this? And you just made the other guy 35,000 instead of you. Right? So, and if they say, can I see that? Say, yeah, as soon as you become a retirement client, I'll put everything in this nice binder. Right in, I'll put that in your nice estate planning binder. Right?
And that report can't go in their trust book.
Yep, you can go in the trust book. Yeah, absolutely. I'll put that right in your trust book as soon as you become a retirement client.
They'll
Yes.
want a copy of you.
Yep. And say, if my person said, why can't I have it now? So, well, this is proprietary. This is my proprietary software. So, all right. Okay. So we have an asset summary. All right. So let's go through the assessment. Let's go through the software. So the first thing I would, so we went over asset summary. Actually, one thing I did not do was the yeah, I would go through it. The reason why that is a great question, Liz. So the question was, do you go through every part of the asset summary? The answer is yes. The reason is Because you'll be amazed how sometimes now that you have more of their trust, you might uncover other assets that they didn't tell you about. And everybody wants to see their number correctly. Yep. And so we have 100 and whatever in the bank, we got 20,000 in stocks, one mutual, 135,000, right? We got your 401k, we got the brokerage account equals 1 point, keep going through. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you about that 200,000 Raymond James account. Oh, no worries. I'll update it and I'll get you a new copy. And you're thinking in your head, calculate, right? Yes, Charles.
I am a novice in Excel, okay? I need help being able to work that sheet. You gave me a copy of it.
Yeah, we'll just do a Zoom sometime. And I'll help you, or I'll less help hop on a Zoom with you. Yeah.
I can't even change the picture drawing. I can even change, put all over. I can do Word and everything else, but Excel.
I got your back. I got you, boo. Okay. So we're gonna have an asset summary. The other thing, I did not open up yet. Come on. What's an agenda? So Mike Strank always had an agenda for the next appointment. And the reason why you want to have that is because you want to essentially pick up right where you left off, and really with that emotional connection and conversation. These guys want $9,000 a month. They want to move closer to the grandkids. They want to make sure Sally's taken care of if Bob passes. They want to see if Bob can retire now instead of 67. They never want to run out of money. They do not want to be a financial burden to their kids like Bob's mother. So Bob's mother right now, they're paying $1,500 a month, and they don't want to have that for their kids. All right. What are their risks? Unnecessary risks in investments, given their goals, market corrections, Bob dying and Sally not knowing what to do, the loss of the income and the pension at death, right? What if Bob dies before mom? That's a big deal. Yeah, right? He had a heart attack a couple years ago. What if Bob dies first? And there's an income cliff and Sally has to take care of Bob's mom. Now we got a real problem, right? Yep. All right. Going back over here. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to show their numbers in the income for life report. And we want to have this for you new people. We want to have this on a big screen TV if we can. We want to make it as big as we can, 65-inch. I mean, you can get them at Costco for, honestly, I feel like you can get a 65-inch for like $400. That's what I was going to see at Max. That was over $400. It doesn't have to be the most high def one. Just make it big. All right. And so here's how I present this case. And let's say, I have a securities license on this. We're going to present everything. And what their biggest concern is they want to get the 9. They want to have long-term care taken care of because they don't want to have to, limit their assets. We're concerned about the income cliff. Okay. But also they want to pass money to their kids. Okay. And so, Bob, thanks for coming in today. We're going to go over your income for life report. The first thing I want to show you is your present position and where you're at today. So Robert, here's your Social Security. Sally, here's your Social Security. Bob, here's your pension. If you guys retire right now like you want to, you're $84,000 a year or $7,000 a month. So the first thing I wanted to show you, Bob and Sally, is you have a $2,000 a month income gap. You said you want 9 right now. You're at 7, right? The next thing I want to show you, and I'd say that is respectfully, is what happens when either you die. How does that affect the remaining spouse? Well,
You picked 72 just.
that's a great question. Let's
Yeah,
ask good questions. The reason why I chose 72 to get out of role play here is because it's easy to see on the software and I don't have to scroll down. That's the real scientific reason why I chose 72. Nope,
For the emotional effect, you want to see the loss.
I want them to see the loss. I want it to be super simple. I want it to be plain as day. And guess what? Stuff happens. People die early.
It's more effective to show 72 than 76, just because they can see it more.
Easier. I could have chose 7. In this case, I could have chose 74 or something. That would have been easy to see too. I mean, you don't have to choose 72. You know, I just want that dramatic boom. So let's do that boom. Let's go back to role play. Sally. So I would say, sorry. So let's now show you what happens when Bob and Sally pass away. So Bob, I'm sorry, as guys, we typically die first. Okay. And he's gonna shake his head. Yep. So Sally, when Bob passes away, actually, I'm gonna do the more dramatic here. When Bob passes away, Sally, you lose $40,000 a year.
If you ask the questions, you know who's closer to the cliff. I like to kill off who's closer to the cliff, I'm making sure that they're closer.
So what Randy said there for the red line is he likes to kill off whoever's closer to the cliff first. Okay, which, yeah, finding their pain. So what I would say is, in this case, going back to role play, I'd say, Sally, is that a problem? I might watch the reaction, but I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna let them think about it. I might pause for 10 seconds. Right? So Sally, what happens when Bob passes away is, first of all, your Social Security goes away and you take over his. Doesn't matter which one's bigger, his or hers, whichever one's bigger, that's the one that stays, the lower one drops off. Right? The other thing, Sally, what happens is when Bob passes away, his pension gets cut in half. So these two changing, that's where you lose $40,000 a year. What happens when Sally passes away? Well, still, we're gonna lose about 25,000, 2,000 a month. Social Security drops off. So when my team and I did the assessment, I found two problems. We have a $40,000 income cliff and a $2,000 a month income gap. So if you want to say it, that's the bad news. Here's the good news. And Bob and Sally, here's where my team got really excited. What we could do today, Bob, if we protect 302,000 of your 401k, bam, we can create a personal pension. That personal pension can get you another $2,000 a month. Typically, we can get these started within 60, 90 days, but we're at $9,000 a month now. So Bob, I'm not saying you have to retire now, but if we do this today, you put yourself in a position that you can retire whenever you want. I say that because my clients like these personal pensions for 3 reasons. First of all, like I kind of mentioned, I can turn these personal pensions on, most of them, whenever I want. So after it takes about 60 days to get established the account, once it's established, every year I wait, turn them on, it just gets better. So I don't have to start it right away, and I'll show you an example later, but every year I wait, the income would actually get higher if I waited longer to turn it on. The second reason all my clients like this is when one of you pass away, the 24,000 stays 24,000. It doesn't get cut in half like a company pension. And here's, I can turn it on whenever I want. And every year I wait, it just gets better.
Then number 2 was,
It's 100% joint income.
What passes away?
It continues. Doesn't get cut in half.
well,
That's number 3. You're so smart, you're ahead of me. So the third reason why my clients really like these personal pensions is because you control the money. You control the money. Yeah, you control the money. Here's what I mean by that. Bob, I love your company pension. $3,000 a month, that's awesome. But with your company pension, what happens when both of you pass away? What happens to that money? It's gone. What if you both get hit by a bus tomorrow? Do your kids get any of it? Not a dime. You worked 40 years for that company, right? With the personal pension, you control the money. And what I mean by that, we do this today. I joke. Let's say you get hit by a bus tomorrow. That full 302,000 goes to your kids. Let's say it's 10 years from now, and we use half of it. Just a hypothetical. There's 150,000 left over. You both peacefully pass away in your sleep. 150,000 just goes to your kids. But likewise, let's say you live a long time. Who knows with healthcare these days? What if you live to 100, 105, 110? Even when that pot of money runs out, it still keeps paying you for the rest of your life. So this is your longevity insurance. This is going to help you so you never run out of money and you're never less than $9,000 a month. It's pretty sweet. Three things. Deck the money today. I turn it on when I want. Every year I wait, it gets better. Second, joint income. When one of you passes away, the income does not drop. It stays the same amount for the rest of your life. Third, with the personal pension, you can still control the money. You die early, your beneficiary gets what's left over. There's actually ways you can change your mind. Take the money out. You get sick, you can just take it. Okay?
Do we do a consensus that that's an sure thing, only pays today? Because they pay them.
Well, it's big answer to that one. Folks are on that 401k folks start.
Is the 401k in the market? Does the market go down?
Sure thing.
But Heather, you said last time we met that you wanted a sure thing. Has that changed? This is the sure thing. That's exactly how you answer that. Your confidence. Lots of times people, when they ask you questions, they're not really objections. They're kind of checking you out.
Or no, he does the swipe, yeah, the swipe.
And part of it is they're mentally just making their decision, and your response can help them make that decision. Okay. All right, back to role play. We're not done yet. We're just getting started. All right, now we got $9,000 a month, but what happens when Bob dies? It still goes down. It's a lot better. Sally's now got about $6,000 a month, right? We still need $8,000. So the second thing we could do, and I recommend, is we could protect about $250,000 of Sally's IRA. Okay? So it's two things for you. Excuse me. Two things. First of all, to answer Max and Heather's question, do you think milk, bread, gas, do you think it's going to be lower in the future or higher? What about taxes? They're going to go down, right? Why'd you laugh, Wynn? Well, guess what? Would it be nice to have a second personal pension? Anytime you need more money, just turn it on. That'd be nice. Yeah. All right. So if we protect 250,000, anytime we need more money, we can turn it on. I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying you have to wait till 72. But let's just say we do. That's an extra $3,000 a month. But what this really does, now when Bob passes, no matter what, Sally has enough. And guess what spouses want to do? They want to provide and protect.
What's the total amount for both of them?
302 and 250. So 552.
That's close to the payoffs right now.
Yeah. So I'm going to go into a bunch of other stuff, but we're going to keep going here. Let's just stop here for a second. I want to point out a couple things. Now, I know there's a few people on Zoom here. We haven't met yet. I'd love to meet you. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But at this point of the process, you can see the software is oversimplified. It's super simple, but that's why it works. A lot of people complicate it too much, and there's softwares out there that complicate it too much. And I know we've been doing this forever. There's people that have been doing this for decades. It's not what we know. It's what they know that matters. Okay. And so just with example number 1 here, Protect 302, which is they have about so it's less than 25% of their assets. They have $9,000 a month. Let me ask you, at this point in the process, have I talked about a bonus? Have I talked about a cap or have I talked about a fancy index that some company made up? Yes, I just said that. Some company made up. You're right. Have I talked about a surrender charge, a payout factor, a free withdrawal, anything like that? They don't care. They said they want $9,000 a month. You have a $2,000 a month income gap. Here's how to fix your gap. Actually, yeah, I love what Randy says. It's your numbers. Do you want to fix your problem? Okay. Make it simple. Now, I'm not going to go over it today, but there's a document we called Annuities Work Because. Reach out to me. We can go over it. That's what a next part of it is, to go over this document that kind of explains the annuities, and we kind of answer a lot of those questions up front. Okay. We explain all those intricacies. All right. So that solves their income gap, their income cliff. What about their LTC gap? Well, how much is long-term care? Actually, I did Knoxville just because, Randy. How much does long-term care cost in Knoxville?
Usually it's $7,000-$9,000.
Yeah.
What did you say, Randy?
It's $7,000-$9,000 depending on your own condition.
So Genworth actually has a really cool calculator. I use it all the time. It's free. You can just go on their website, and it just shows what is the cost of care for any spots in the United States. And what I love about it too is you can project the future costs. And I think this is only a 3% inflation. Yeah, a 3% inflation, which it could be a lot higher than this. So it's I did this in 2023. 2020. What about 2043? That's probably when they're really going to need it, right? So between 10 and 15 grand a month is really what they need, right? So do we need to solve for all of that? No. It's just another gap. How do we solve that gap? So I actually this is probably more than usual, but I took another $300,000. I put it to asset-based long-term care at One America. I can get another $10,000 a month. The reason I did 10, what about the remaining spouse? They still need income? Yeah. In this case, they would still have $8,000 a month, the remaining spouse, to live their life while the other person is receiving care. Okay. So all I did is I just we showed that there's still a gap. Here's how I fix the gap. And guess what? This is unlimited long-term care. Pretty sweet. So at this point, they have about $1.3 million. I can use them, I think at this point, I use $850. Actually, they have about 440,000 left over to do whatever they want with. First of all, I solve for more income, for inflation. If they want to leave money to their kids, the best way is to have enough guaranteed income so you can live your life. If you have enough, if you have your paycheck coming in every single month, are you going to go on that trip? If you know what's coming in, are you going to go on that trip? Come on, because guess what? I got $9,000 next month. Go, right? People who buy the personal pensions enjoy their retirement more because they know they'll never run out. They don't have to worry about, we're going to take that trip this year. Mark went down a little bit this year. Nope. Check came in last month. We're going to Europe. We're going to the lands, right? We're going to, we're going to wherever. This year, we're taking the kids on a Disney cruise. Check came in. Now, for our AUM people, you can also show AUM on top of that. I took the 443,000, I did a 3% safe withdrawal rate with a 3% COLA. I put in the software. After I show all the guarantees, then I can show the maybes. Got to show the guarantees first. Then you can show the maybes. But if I have enough income, do I need to touch this money? Do I need to touch the 443,000 if I have enough income? No. So if you let that grow over the next 20 years, if the market cooperates, that's going to give, now you have 1.2 million left over past your kids, right? If it doubles twice, if the market cooperates. But what if you don't do this? This is a prime example. Again, I have this on my desk, this case, exact case, every single week. Les and I work a case like this every single week with my producers. They're all over the place. And the biggest thing is, well, I got $1.2 million. Do I need to do this? Okay. Well, what if your plan doesn't work? Do you have a plan B? What if you just leave it in the market? Okay, Bob. What if your $1.2 million goes to 6? What would you do? Can we get what's 4% of 600,000? 24? Yeah. Oh, Bob, it went down to 600,000. What if you get sick? And now Sally's writing checks for $100,000 a year, not off 1.2 anymore, but off 6. So Bob, it's probably not you that's going to end up penniless and homeless. It's probably your wife. The healthy one. Sorry, we pick on the guys all the time. We do. Like I said, we eat hamburgers and potato chips all our lives, and so we deserve it, right? Yeah. Beer.
Remember, she's around.
Yep.
Whichever
Whichever one.
No.
We always say that, and it doesn't matter him or her, always pick on the guys or whatever, but if it's whoever's controlling the situation, the neck turns the head. And that is the pillow conversations, right? The neck turns the head. And that's why you always have to have both spouses there. Okay. All right. Questions on that? All right. I want to go into something else. And how to enter all this stuff in, get with your consultant and we'll show you how to do it. We'll show you how to enter everything in.
One question you have is there a point, probably after they sign up and they get up and they get a full vote, that would actually start looking at full financial planning sometimes, just like back into taxation, if they're at a, you know, a high tax rate they're going to be at, or whatever. I mean, is there ever a place for that in first people advisors?
There is, all that stuff is great. Definitely in the beginning, I would make them a client.
Yeah.
Because I have producers that do some of that stuff
They sell less.
and they sell less. And I don't even say sell it, they actually help less people. Because they don't, then the people are paralysis by analysis, they don't do anything. So they actually end up helping less people as well. Again, if you guys heard before, if we help enough people get what they want, we get what we want. All right. All right. So let's go into for our new people. First of all, I'll put this up again. Here's my contact information if you don't have it. Everybody's online. I'll talk about why that's important here in just a second. That is the best way to reach me. Let me get this out of the way. Yep. Can you guys see that over there? Zoom. Now we got two screens. Hold on a sec, guys. I might have to do something a little different here. I think I have to extend it. Momento. License system. There we go. There it is. Thank you. Good. Oh. Is that working now? I don't know if it's actually going to work because we have it set up here. Duplicate?
Is that what Papa was on your bond?
Yeah, but once I go there, it's going to show just the previous thing. Here, let's see. I might just have to do it this way. Everybody online, can you see this screen at least?
It's not full screen. We can see your notes.
Lisa, can you see my screen here?
Yes. If you go up to
be able
display
to.
settings,
Either. No, she should be able to hear me here. Yeah.
yes, we can hear you. We can see your
Can
PowerPoint.
anybody else give me a thumbs up, or anybody else in the Zoom give me a thumbs up that you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your
Yes, I
screen.
can see it.
We can see your screen.
Bueller?
Yeah, we can see your screen. Yes.
No, nothing. All right. Nobody? Anybody? There we go. Yes. Kendall, thank you. All right, sweet. Okay. So let's talk about simplicity, who we are, what you have. I'm going to say with all this, what you have access to. You have access to a lot of stuff with simplicity. All right. I would say there's a lot of stuff on the shelf. You're not ready for everything on the shelf. Okay. It's there for when you're ready to take it off the shelf. Does that make sense? All right. So the simplicity group here, what's the difference? Well, one platform, one team, one unified approach. What simplicity is really creating is an environment where wherever you're at in your practice, whatever you need in your practice, it's available there for you. Okay. Since this slide's been created, there's actually more. There's over 70 simplicity offices now. For like 420 million of life sales, 10 billion of annuity sales, over 9 billion of AUM. Okay. I'm going to say this, and I'll say this more in the end, but the way this is set up is the annuity FMO is really the kind of like the center hub in most cases. And then you get access to everything else I'm going to talk about through that. We're all one big team, but I will say this, and this is why my contact is important. If you talk to another simplicity annuity FML before you talk to me, you're working with them, not me. So we all got to play nice in the sandbox. And so if you want the retire now software, You want to be able to work with Mike Stranka, our team and our coaching, you got to come through Simplicity Minneapolis. Those other groups are great organizations. We love being a part of them, but we don't all do the same thing. We kind of operate independently still, okay? So this is kind of a quick FYI how that works. So if you call, again, there's lots of great people inside Simplicity, but if you call a Phoenix or a Cleveland or Atlanta office, now that means that you're working with them, okay? All right. All right, so here's you, the producer. I am your advisor, development consultant. That's what ADC stands for, okay? I'm your bridge in between the marketing team, the sales team, and operations, all right? And I know some of you have other ADCs and they're awesome too. So what's the approach? First of all, every producer that we think are in one of three stages. First is the build stage. Well, the objective, let's get some consistent client acquisition. The challenge is really sales and marketing. We need to start building that pipeline, that funnel of consistent business coming in the door. That's the first phase of building your practice. The next is scale. Okay, I got great revenue. I'm consistently seeing people. I'm at 5 million. I'm at 10 million a year of let's just call it annuity business. But how do I get to the next level? How do I scale? How do I generate more revenue in less time? How do I create systems in my practice so that I can get from 5 million to 15 to 20 to 25, 30 million? Okay. We need personnel, we need technology, and we need processes. We're going to help you with that. Here's the third phase. How do I capitalize on my business? With all due respect, nobody's going to work forever, right? Or what if something happens? Stuff happens, right? How do I capitalize? Well, how do I get the maximum value out of my business when I want to step back or when I want to walk away? Okay. Well, we can help you with the business structure, the support. On average right now, especially if you're doing securities, most producers are getting about 2 times worth of their practice when they sell their practice. We're helping producers right now get 8 times the value of their practice. I said 8 times value of the practice. Yes. All right. So that's everybody is in the build, scale, or capitalize. We're going to help you with all of those 3 stages. All right. How can we help? First thing, marketing. It starts with branding. Okay. We have like a 65-person marketing team that can help you with, oops, I went too fast. Logos, branding collateral, event materials, client flyers, signatures, websites, social media, video production, tutorials. I need a new logo. I need a new website. I'm having a client event. I need this flyer. I need a referral brochure made. I need a tablecloth with my name put on it for my event that I have. You see the Simplicity banners out, those little stand-up banners. I need something like that. I have all these articles I want them branded to me, and I want a drip campaign, right? We can help you out with all of that.
I'll walk through an example of that. Got a small producer or a small business. How will, let's say I want to design for the new one, the estate workshop.
So we just set up a call, or like a video chat, with the marketing team, and we would just walk you through, and we'd then say, hey, we need this, we need your headshot, we need all this stuff, and we'll discuss. Yeah, no. So here's the cool thing. Everything I just mentioned, except for the website, free. We'll do all for free. We won't print stuff for you, but we'll basically get it all done for you so you can go get it printed.
So I want to help logo, which is what you have up there now.
Yep.
You guys can help us with that.
Free. I've had, I don't know, over a couple dozen producers get logos for free. And let's do it for you. So create a logo, and pretty self-explanatory there. There's some sample of some sales materials, things like that, workshops, handouts, all that stuff will help you customize all stuff for free with our graphic design team. Okay. Websites. We have websites for wealth advisors, and we have websites for just insurance producers. They are semi-customizable websites. I will say for most producers in that build or scale phase, I would say for sure the build phase, your website is just your business card online. It's not going to produce leads for you. Okay, people aren't going to come to your website and you're going to get 10 appointments a month in the build stage of your business. You just need a nice website, and we have really nice websites that are more than you need. And here's the cool thing: it's a one-time cost of $750. That's it. 750. I mean, super cheap. And it's a really nice website that does a lot of stuff. And if you get a website through us, we'll actually do automated emails to your.
Show mine.
I'd have to look it up.
$750 for the website?
Just one-time cost. So Charles has one. You've been with the marketing team. Was the process easy? They do.
Pretty simple.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, takes a few minutes to go through. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's some stuff you got to do. It takes. You're not the only one, so it takes them a few weeks. But yeah,
They're posting, see the thing I do is they're posting articles on my social media pages that link back to my, because there's they've got 3 or 4 years back articles on there on my website, so.
Yeah,
you can
so-
always- if somebody asks you a question, you could go find it, whatever they're asking.
Yeah.
Direct it to your website.
yeah. So we have like 3, 4 every month. Simplicity creates a article on different topics. Timely articles, some about Social Security, taxes, whatever it is. They create 4 to 5 articles a month. And if you have a website through us, they're automatically posted on your social media, on your website for you for free. And then we automatically send out, once a month newsletter to your client base for free. Just that right there, Chris. Yep. I mean, it's honestly cheap. So we also have Studio One. So Studio One is a world-class studio for video production that you have access to. Customized videos, compliance scripts, production team, editing, on-camera coaching, video utilization strategies, all that stuff for you for free. Okay. You gotta, I would say not everybody's ready for this. Okay. But it's there for you. It's a world-class production studio. It's there for you for free. Randy, we should talk about this. There's probably stuff that you can do, on that. But it's there for you and you have access to it. It's pretty cool. Okay. Yep. Just work through your ADC. Yep. All right. Lead generation, workshops, specialty programs, digital marketing. So how do we get in front of some people? Workshops. We have turnkey workshops that are proven and ready to go. I'm going to kind of go fast through some of this stuff. We have a Social Security educational workshop, non-dinner workshop that is absolutely dominating right now. Okay. We actually have a not-for-profit that you're connected to. Okay. And you're doing it at local libraries, community centers, civic centers, senior centers, stuff like that. And we're getting better responses than a dinner seminar, like at 1.2% across the country. My producers right now are seeing millionaires at a little library, Social Security event. I mean, literally they're full. I mean, they're cyclical. They're not all perfect. Not every seminar you can do is perfect, but you're getting in front of the right people. We do have a great dinner seminar on general retirement. It's called Principal Retirement Planning. Actually, one thing I should talk about really quick back on the Social Security. Sorry, give me 1 second. I just want to say this is not your normal Social Security workshop. Okay. It talks about if you really want to determine your Social Security, it's not just about your longevity. It's a holistic plan, and you really need an income plan if you want to determine your Social Security. So you need to look at market volatility, sequence of returns. You need to look at longevity, mortality, inflation, taxes. All of those things come into determining your Social Security. So it really helps them see they need help. So they come see you. Okay, really quick. So the This dinner workshop talks about longevity, liquidity, inflation, market volatility, mortality, and taxes. It's a great presentation, turnkey. It's working right now. It's getting like a 1% response rate around the country. Right. The dinner workshop. The other one we have is called Truth About Annuities. This is also a dinner workshop. It is very specific to annuities. So it's not quite as big a response rate, but it's about a 50% appointment ratio for people who show up because it's a targeted audience. So you will have less people there, but the people that are there are the right people. Okay.
What's the cost of dinner?
I mean, a mailer is typically around 4,000 or 5,000, depending on the area. You're probably gonna spend another couple grand for dinner. I mean, it's really gonna be probably more like, I would try to say in the high end, probably 7,000, 8,000 for 2 nights. Okay. The educational Social Security workshop is probably about, let's call it on the high end, 5,000 for 2 nights.
And you guys help us get people there?
Yes. You're right ahead of me, Liz.
The,
So-
The social security and the, annuities, is that on the, first income advisor website or?
I can send it all to you. So, all right. So what we're gonna do, yes.
Remember that skips the avatar, son survey. Goes
Yep.
straight to the prospect.
Yep. Yeah, I know Randy's got a really good estate planning workshop too. That's turnkey that can get you in front of great people as well and help do the estate planning. So that's also something that's turnkey. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a heat map on your area. We're gonna do analytics. We're gonna figure out where you should have the event, where are the right people, and we're gonna get people with income, with the right assets in there. We're gonna use traditional mail, not social media. We're gonna use traditional mailers because we know then that it's about 85% to 90% of the people in the room are the right people.
Is this for all your workshops?
And so I will say this,
Can we go back to that page, the one you just read? There's your avatar. Right.
Yeah.
Shit.
so we're gonna, I'd say I have people right now that, again, no mailer is perfect. They do use a tiny bit of social media. So sometimes you have your people that don't have any money there, but again, majority of people in the room, 85 to 90% of the right people that you want to talk to. And like I said, my producers are in front of millionaires. All right, so we're gonna basically have a dashboard with everything on there, auto confirmations, all that stuff, take all that stuff out of your hands. Here's what we've seen this is across all of the Simplicity Group. Producers that are doing workshops, their production is up basically 188%. Workshops are working right now. If it's the estate planning workshop, Social Security workshop, dinner workshop, it does not matter. People right now want to get their stuff figured out. And if you are the one in front of them, you will write business. Okay. The point of it all is we have coaching for you, they're turnkey, and they're ready to go, and they work. All right. Obviously, with the Simplicity Group, again, we are a massive organization. The whole point of the slide is we have like 98% of all the products that you can think of out there. Every carrier, fixed annuities, index annuities, RILAs, life insurance, long-term care, linked benefits, Medicare, Kaizen, I'm talking disability now. I mean, anything that you can think of. So if you see a product that you need, we have it. Okay.
It is like that.
Yeah.
I will in a second.
Just-
It's going, it's moving, you guys are so smart. You're always ahead of me. All right. So disabilities, we now have a full disability team. If you need help with disability, individual, business, special risks, we have a whole team. That's not just in somebody new. Kind of what Simplicity does, to be honest, is we acquire somebody who's already really good at it, plug them in. Coaching tools, email campaigns, flyers, anything you need, there's a whole team that's going to help you. Okay. specialty programs, tax-free retirement for more some of your younger generation. All right, if you want to target the 30 to 50-year-olds, the tax-free retirement and IULs, whole life insurance, Patrick Kelly has a turnkey system for you to reach out to those people with email campaigns, webinars, books, marketing campaigns. Everything is there for you, turnkey, ready to go. Again, Simplicity is the largest life FMO, independent life FMO in the country. Okay. We have a proprietary software that's going to help you, just like the, I went one too ahead. Sorry, I'm clicking too fast. We have a proprietary software that helps you not just show an illustration, but tell a story. So again, we're not making it complicated with illustration. We're going to tell a story and we can show that to you, and it really works. We also have Kaizen. So what this is, it's leveraged life insurance. It's a conceptually like premium financing. That's why I say that, but there's not all the assets and everything you need on the back end. This is really for somebody high net worth, doctors, business owners. Maybe you want to do a bonus for companies for their key employees. And it's pretty sweet the way it works. Again, we have the software to help you with it. But I'm going to kind of skip ahead here a little bit. The way it works is the client pays half the premium for the first 5 years. Kaizen pays the second half. And then the next 5 years for the 10 pay, Kaizen pays all the premium. And then it's a long-term care, long-term play, where if it's really you're accessing that money like 15 years down the road. Because at the end of 15 years, Kaizen takes all their money back because that life insurance policy is built up all the cash value that it needs. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. So if you have life insurance, but you got somebody in their 40s, a doctor, 50s that are maybe a key employee, a business owner. Do a lot of business owners have a retirement plan? Some of them don't. Their business is they're making a lot of money, but their business is like their retirement plan. Well, what if you could put in 50? I have producers that have done $200,000 a year premium. And now big life insurance policy, and that business owner is getting $100,000, $200,000 a year of tax-free income when they retire. It's pretty sweet. Okay.
So what's an ideal age to start that? I feel like it's better, right?
Yeah. I'd say most policies we're doing is probably in the 30s and 50s. Those people typically have money under it. Yeah. I'll say this. So this is where I'm going to go to. So we do have classes on this, coaching on this, everything. So I'm your key point of contact, but this is a time where I am going to punt. I know a decent amount of life insurance, but I have my counterpart. We're going to take him off the shelf. His name's Zach Von Bank. He's been doing life insurance since rocks were soft. You know what I mean? That's a joke. You can laugh, right? And he knows his stuff. And so you got a life insurance case. I'm going to punt to Zach. He's going to help you. He knows what he's doing. Okay. Asset-based long-term care team. This is a huge growing business, guys. People do not want to go into nursing home anymore. People have seen what's happened with their parents, and they don't want that to happen to their kids. They don't want to have, so 8.3 million people received long-term care in 2023. 181 billion spent on assisted living, memory care, and nursing home. 130 billion spent on home care. It's about 53 million of unpaid family caregivers in the US. It's a huge deal. Do you want that to be you, right?
Now, if I'm not mistaken, that asset-based LTC, that will pay a family member to take care of you at home, correct? If the doctor-
There are versions of it, yes. Not all of them, but there are versions of that, yes. Yep. So I'll be honest with you. I mean, I'm pretty good at the asset-based long-term care. I do a lot of the quotes for my producers. But again, I do have a team behind me that's all they do. And so we got somebody that's got some medical stuff. We're going to punt to them. They're going to talk to the underwriters at all the different carriers. We're going to find the carrier that will accept it, or will most likely accept it for a lot of times before we present it to the client or submit the application. Okay. So use us. Okay. Again, there's all the different marketing training around the asset-based long-term care. Okay. Digital marketing. That's a huge thing as well that people want to have access to. I would say this: you need to be in the scale phase for this to be for you. Okay. The Lone Beacon is again a simplicity company. They're a full service sales, basically digital sales marketing. They only work in the financial industry. Okay, so they're not a digital company that works, in all the different markets and all that stuff. They only work in the financial industry. They've been around since 2013. They've been doing this a long time. Okay, but again, now they're owned by Simplicity. Simplicity goes finds who does it best, and they buy them. And now they're part of the team. Okay. So what do? What if your business experienced 50 to 100 prospects delivered to your website every single month? So now we're gonna step it up. Remember I mentioned at the beginning we need a business card online. Now we're gonna take that website and we're gonna step it up. Okay. What if every 4 days those prospects received a communication from you? What if 15% of those people book an appointment every single year? Okay.
Every 4 days, I think that would piss people off.
But what if it's actually good content?
Also, it's qualified for it.
Mhm. What if you get an instant notification when somebody's highly engaged? What if 20% of those people book an appointment every single? What we've seen is actually producers really double their production within 3 years by going to this. So if you got somebody doing 5-10 million, they're going to just by adding this automatically go up to 20 million. Because what's really happening is for a lot of producers, you have all these prospects, you have all these clients. Oh, I've been doing seminars for 3 years and I have all these people that came to my seminars. I have hundreds of people that never booked an appointment. That's just a lost opportunity for you. What if you can get in front of all those people consistently? And what if all those hundreds of people that went to your seminars for the last 3 years eventually started booking appointments on your calendar? Very sweet.
Do you know the details of it? Are they using your URL to send emails from?
Yes, it is. Look, it's coming from you.
And then are they protecting your URL from being burned from too much spam?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Like I said, they've been doing this a long time. Yep. Okay. So what are the key components? First of all, they're going to build a website that works. So they're going to take that basic website and they're going to put on steroids. They're going to create lead generation. So they actually start getting leads from Facebook, Google, and LinkedIn. Okay. That is the one thing you pay for. Lone Beacon service initially is free. The one thing you do have to pay for is the, Facebook, Google, LinkedIn advertising. Okay. And all those prospects, they're going to create automated magnetic marketing that is attractive, that works, that people click on, that people don't get sick of. Okay. And they're going to provide the analytics behind it. So you know exactly what's happening. I mean, what if you knew exactly when every single prospect was interested and ready for a phone call? Because I did seminars for 3 years, or I've had all these referrals. And I don't know when they're ready for a phone call. What if you know when they're ready for a phone call? That'd be pretty cool, right? So they have something called Eye of Intelligence, that basically tracks everything, and you have all the numbers, and you know exactly when to follow up with that person. Now, they are also a full service broadcasting company that helps producers in TV and radio as well. So that's where they originally got their start. So if you're a big producer and you do want to eventually get into TV and radio, we have a opportunity for you there as well. Okay. All right. We also have Simplicity Wealth. So if you're 65 and you want to add that business, or you're looking for at the point in your practice where you're looking for a new place to do that, we have an opportunity. And do you have to do this with us to be with us? No. But when you're ready to take it off the shelf, it's there. So they're flexible, they're tech enabled. They integrate the annuity inside their plans. I would say they're very good insurance friendly RAA. You can be you're an IAR underneath them, or you can have a selling agreement and still have your own RAA. Does not matter. Okay. But they do have some really cool things that I'm not going to go deep into, but direct indexing, tax loss harvesting, a proprietary scoring system that really resonates with the clients. Okay. They also have a proprietary tool called Asset Lock. Here's the deal. 75% of clients left their advisor because of lack of communication. Things are going crazy. There's COVID. The market's going down. What's happening? What if there's a communication tool that automatically happens to help you with that process? It's a really cool tool. Again, I'm not going to go into all the details right now, but let's just say you have that conversation with that client and they say, well, what is your threshold? What is your score? What would be code red? I lost this amount and I'm concerned. I'm just going to use an example. Let's say it's 20%. I lose 20%. That's going to be bad, right? And the one thing that's really interesting is it's not just about how much you lost, but the big thing with their process, what's the speed of loss? Is the loss of 20% over a year different feeling than loss of 20% over a month? Yeah. So we have to look at both the loss and the speed of the loss, right? And so what Asset Lock does, it's a communication tool, or our clients know exactly where all their accounts are. Let's just say that they're again, just hypothetically, their number was 20%. 20% was code red. But what if at 10%, you, the advisor, got a notification? Would you be able to make a phone call? Hey, so you know we're down 20%. Here's what's going on. Here's why. Would that be good? Right? What if they're down 20% and you get a notification and they get a notification? Let's make a phone call. Here's what's happening. Here's why. Here's what we're doing. Are we going to lose that client? What about if every time they hit a new high, they get a notification? Would that be a good thing? Hey, your account hit a new high. My advisor, Bob, is taking care of me. Just got a new high. Sweet. Cool. All right. I'm going to go golf somewhere. Pretty good deal, right? It's really cool technology. Again, I'm not going into all the details here. I'm going to super go faster just for lack of time here, but operations, we really can help you with operations, personnel, hiring, staffing, office manager, receptionist, junior advisor, how to hire them, what's the right time, should their salary be, what's the profitability of the firm, how to help you with CRMs, technology, client portals, a process, and really a workflow within your organization. Who does what? I would say the biggest thing with my producers when they start really growing their practice to the scale phase is who does what in their practice? What does the workflow look like? And if you can identify that and actually make a defined workflow, that's how you get the most results. All right. So we're going to help you build. We're going to help you scale. And we're going to help you capitalize. That's what we do at Simplicity Group. And to get that, you got to contact me. You gotta call me. Thank you, thank you. So, for the producers that are not with us yet, please give me a call, shoot me an email, and we'll set up a time to learn about what your business is today and how we can help you grow, and to see if we're a fit. Because we're not a fit for everybody, but the ones that do want to grow, we'll help you. All right. Questions?
We're the kind that ask right in the middle of your meeting, so we've already asked most of them, I said.
You have, and I appreciate that. Yes.
So anyway, it's in the room, what do you think?
Mhm.
Do you assess where we are right now before you take us to this program?
That's a great question. So Randy asked was, for everybody who's in this room or everybody that's online, do we assess where you are right now before we take you to the program? The answer is yes. Every producer that I work with is at a different spot in their practice. And so part of that conversation initially is to figure out where you're at, what are your goals, correctly, what are your problems, right? Because I want to know where I can help you. I work with producers that do $25 million a year. They're not the same, they don't have the same problems as the producer that's trying to get to $2 to $3 million a year, right? And that doesn't make either one of them good or bad, right? But we all have different needs and challenges to overcome, and we're going to help you put systems and processes in there to help you reach your goal. And some producers, I'll say this too, some producers you don't want to do 25 million a year. That's fine. A lot of producers that, you know what, if I could just do 6 million a year and cut my time in half, I would love that. Because right now I'm working 70 hours a week to do 6 million a year. What if I could get it so that one of my producers, he started with me, we took his first and second appointment. Well, his second appointments were an hour and a half long. Guess what he did? He started using our software. He started closing $400,000 and $600,000 cases in 20 minutes. And he was like, my God, you know what he's able to do? He's able to take Fridays off. It's pretty cool. He doesn't have to work Fridays anymore. And we're doubling his production. And now he doesn't have to work Fridays. So not everybody, it's all customized to you and where you want to go and what you want to do. Everybody's in a different spot, but we can help you and meet you wherever you're at. Randy?
We'll bring you 100 days and 30 days and let you go. Let's do that.
Okay. I got Les too as well. So Les is my junior ADC. He works with me as well. And so sometimes I do get busy helping and coaching producers. And so sometimes he's the one that follows up with quotes and stuff like that, and helps out with new business stuff. And
If you want to hear a Midwestern accent, talk to Les.
talk to Les.
He's very enthusiastic.
Les is very enthusiastic. Les, he's awesome. He's awesome. Yeah. So, good stuff. So we covered that. We covered the income stuff. We covered the sale. We covered where the AUM works and the long-term care works. Where's the income gap, income cliff, LTC gap, right? How to put the maybes in there with AUM. We talked about that. I mean, do you want me to, the time here, do you want me to go over a little bit about some of the long-term care policies and how they work?
Need a break for what time?
Should we take a break?
Well, we still have 10 minutes, 11 minutes before break.
Is everyone here going to do tomorrow's training? Is that the assumption?
Yes.
Okay.
Why don't we take a break?
Yeah, that's a big idea. Yeah, let's take a break. So this is actually the long-term, this is the case that I did in the retiring now software, 300,000. This is a qualified One America asset here. I just want to explain, I'm just going to go through a couple of these products, how they work. Okay. So we took $300,000. This is the easy way to explain this. Okay. We took $300,000, and what we immediately got was a $337,000 tax-free second of that policy. So we put on $300,000 of qualified assets. And if they never use it, their beneficiaries get $337,000 of tax-free money. I'll show you. I'll show you. I'll show you. You guys are too fast. Okay? So, do you want to pass in 20 years? $300,000 of taxable benefit to your beneficiaries, or 337 non-taxable? Which one do you think would be more to your beneficiaries in 20 years? The taxes would be higher or lower, right? Here's the other thing. But what I got with that, if I do get sick, I can get $10,000 each a month of unlimited long-term care. Tax-free long-term care. Okay? If I don't use it, I don't lose it. My beneficiaries get $337. If my spouse or I need it, for example, I would get $10,000 a month of tax-free long-term care. Now, all of you are asking, how do they take qualifying money and make it non-taxable? I know that's what you're thinking. I know that's what you're thinking. All right, here's where we go. Here's how they do it. This is only one America that does this right now. What they do, they take that $300,000 and they create an internal IRA at One America. And they give a 25% bonus.
What?
25. That's now $375,000. That internal IRA at One America. Over the next 10 years, they're going to fund that second and that life insurance policy, and then that with $37,500 a year to fund that second and that policy.
So you're giving them 300,000 and they're funding, they're taking 37.5 a year funding.
They're giving that account a 25% bonus. That 300,000 goes to 375. They're taking 10% of that 375 every single year and funding the second of that policy. You will get a 1099 for $37,500 every single year. For most of the clients that do this, I would say there's a couple of advantages to that. It's nice to spread out those taxes now. Start spreading them out. Right now, the taxes are at a discount, right? For now. Right? But also, a lot of clients that do this too, do they have to take R&Ds? They have to do it anyways? Eventually, right? Well, that can also help satisfy R&Ds too if they're older. Okay? For this plan, they have to be at least 59 and a half or older to do this.
What happens if they die in year 1 or 2 tax wise?
Fantastic question. You know, we brought Eddie in here right now just for this question. So what happens, here's the cool thing, okay? See why that death benefit's higher in the beginning? Eventually, it goes down to just the life insurance. It's because that internal IRA, if they die, they get the death benefit and whatever's left of the internal IRA.
Tax-free.
No, the internal IRA will be taxed.
Would be an
Inherited IRA, yes. But the death benefit will be free. Let's just say that year 7, year 7, that's not a very good example. Let's year 5, okay? Year 5, they go on claim. That penalty stops. The internal IRA stays right where it's at. But about 140,000 left in there.
The IRA, they don't pay rent.
That 10K stops and it just stays where it's at, whatever's left in there.
They never have to pay that.
It's a waiver of premium. Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
What happens at that point? I'd come up and.
So if they come off claim,
It resumes.
it would resume. But if it goes past the 10 years, it does not resume.
And if they die while they're on claim, then whatever's in IRA would stay in IRA, and then they get this death benefit.
Whatever's left after the claim. Okay, yep. The reason I say that is because the first, in this case, 33 months on claim is spending down the death benefit. So if you're on claim for 22 months, 11 months of the death benefits left over for the beneficiary.
Plus whatever's in IRA.
What else plus whatever's in IRA? Yep, good question. Okay, that's one example. So we use this a lot because America's qualified rich. And so we want to ask, there's basically 3 questions. If you got sick, first of all, where would you like to receive care? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, if you got sick, what assets would you use first, likely, right? If you got sick, what assets would you use first? And then third, if I could show you a better way to use those assets, would you open to looking at that?
Is there any underwriting?
Great question. Asset-based long-term care has less underwriting than traditional life insurance. So I would say bunch of the questions on Randy's form, it's simplified underwriting. Yep. And so, as long as you're on lots of the major stuff, I mean, you could have had a heart attack, you could have had cancer, 5-10 years ago, and you still can qualify for it, or even a couple years ago. If you had a heart attack 5 years ago, you still can qualify for it. What they do is they pull medical records and do a cognitive phone interview. And based off the medical records, most of the time that suffices of either a yes or a no. Sometimes they will do a full parent off of that. But I would say majority of the time, off the medical records and the cognitive interview, it's a yes or no.
I know the regular product, very strict driving requirements.
The
The other, not the asset care, the traditional one American.
yeah, well, this is, you'd be like this is probably the more heavy unwritten product.
So who's an ideal candidate, would you say?
Great question. I would say that most ideal candidate is under 70,
Understood, in decent health.
in decent health. And I would say those are a lot of people that are looking for it. People in their 60s or like 50s, possible.
So if they answer the question,
Well, you said
Confidential.
59.5.
That's for qualified, but they also have non-qualified versions that you can do under 59.5. We'll get to that. You guys are smart.
To eliminate the penalty.
Yes, exactly, because they're doing that 10 pay.
so when they answer the question about long-term care on page 2, confidential that we talked about this morning, they're telling us that they might be open to this
Yep.
concept.
Yep. So they answer those questions on page 2, the confidential, for everybody that's on Zoom. They're saying they're open to this type of product.
They should also have a fair amount of assets. But
Yeah.
to your point, we are qualified.
Yep.
And this is your prescription for the diagnosis that they don't have any long-term care.
Correct. So,
They have
yep,
money, they have money.
yep. And so I would say that, we'll talk about it. We'll go on from there. All right.
That long-term care that doesn't have a lump sum to put into it. Wants to pay more.
So this is a lump sum version. There is also not pay to 95, 20 pay, 10 pay versions of this product. But that's then using non-qualified money, not qualified.
That's our.
She's on the list of talking to him. Just don't do it in one week.
Okay, let's see what else we got here. So there's also annuity chassis. Yeah, here's a cool, I'm gonna go to the spot again. I'm just going to the pages that actually kind of did I miss it? Here we go. I think it really explain what this is. So whenever we have clients that have variable annuities, have lots of gains in those variable annuities. They don't want to pay the taxes on them. They're just gonna pass it to the beneficiary probably. What if we could move those assets from one street to the other side of the street? I don't know how you say that, by the way. Do we steal stuff from each other? Well, what if we could move those assets to a different side of the street, remove it from market risk, but also provide tax-free long-term care? And if you do actually have a long-term care event, never pay taxes on those gains. Is that cool? Well, here's an example. If you put in, this is like a 58 and 60-year-old couple. Okay. If we put in that $200,000, we can actually get up to $4,400 a month of tax-free long-term care. Again, unlimited lifetime. Great. So COB is continuation benefit. So that's for after you spend down the money, or after you spend down the life insurance and the life insurance side.
What monthly long-term care limit advisor is that?
Where is that at?
Underneath the total emergency benefit period, it's under the fixed contract and, yeah, it's in both columns. 34.5, what does that even mean?
So that means that basically 34.5 months, I think, to spend down the actual cash value of the policy.
Oh, so the continuation, that's the point at which after that, the COE would kick in.
Yes, correct. Yep.
So, and that's the purpose of that number, so they'll know that your money's only gonna last for 34 months.
Yep.
Okay.
And then after that, basically, you're in the benefit keeps on going. Because now you're in the insurance company's pocket, not your own. So there wouldn't be any benefit left, like death benefit left over. But now you still would get paid lifetime. So these do have, I'll show another one here in a second.
Is, why would we look at annuity care as opposed to asset care?
So the annuity care even has less underwriting than the life insurance side. But it also could be qualified versus non-qualified. If it's in a VA and it has a bunch of gains, I could transfer it over and then never pay taxes on those gains because I'm using for long care.
Does it have a bonus on it?
This one does not. So, but it does have growth on it. It does have like some interest rates and caps and stuff like that. There's some actually, this one has just a fixed interest rate. So, but you can see how even the LTC monthly benefit actually grows and your cash value grows on there. So if you never use it and you die at age 79, you're 200,000, your beneficiaries get 314. Pretty cool. Remove it from market risk, got some growth on it. And then I'm just going to my kids anyways, but hey, I don't have any long-term care. If I really want to leave money to my kids, I have to protect my other assets. The big thing with long-term care is you're basically protecting all the rest of the assets. So that you can, if you do get sick, it protects everything else so you don't spend it down.
Wealthy people like that.
Yep. You got somebody that's got $5 million, you want to pass more to your kids, well, protect a couple $100,000 of that and protect all the rest, right? So it doesn't get spent down. All right. Use the index of care one. Give me a second. Here we go. So this is actually very similar product, but this one has actually index annuity care. So I put in the 200,000. I get the lifetime benefit. It's going to show me what I want. Sorry. So you're gonna see how the cash value grows. Very similar. But again, instead of it be a fixed chassis, it's an index chassis on the growth of the account value. Person. All right, here's another version. This product's pretty popular. It's called a Global Atlantic. So what it is you put in your $200,000 and you get 90 months benefit on it. And what they'll do is they'll take your $200,000 that you put into it, and you can get either double or triple of that $200,000 to turn into a 90-month benefit for tax-free long-term care.
And again, what's that mean?
How do you get double? Your underwriting.
Your underwriting, dependent based on the questions that you answer, will determine if you get double your premium or triple your. I'll be honest with you.
What, which is that?
No, I didn't say anything. I can't, it's recorded.
Oh, okay.
So you can see how this one grows. You got your account value against index annuity chassis. You got your account value growing on here. You got your benefit grows every single year. Pretty simple, right? So here's another annuity product. This is a pretty cool one. It's called the EquiTrust Bridge. It's got an index annuity chassis on it. And here's the cool thing about this one. Now this is $100,000 because this one is only on single. You cannot do joint with this one. The cool thing with this one, guaranteed issue. Doesn't matter your house. Not available in every state.
What's the actually?
I think let's see.
That is available, Chelsea?
Yes. Tennessee is there. They're one of the fun states.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just let us have it all.
They didn't have to let it all. California,
Well.
New York, woo.
California.
So, no.
And you're saying the benefit grows.
So yeah, so it has an index in it. No, this is only $100,000, right? But the cool thing is, so the guarantee version of it right now, this could change. Think of getting $100,000, your account value automatically get a 45% bonus, and then you your 5-year payout. Actually, long-term pay. Think of that. So add your account value. What?
Or does it reflect the bonus?
So this is, it's really, it's a 45%, this is the guarantee, let me go to non-guaranteed. So what they do is as your account value grows, whatever that account value is, they're gonna give a 45% bonus on that, and then give you basically a 5-year payout. So in this case, your $100,000 grew to $186,000, okay, based off the index returns. It gave you, at age 70, you get $3,000 a month for 5 years. It's pretty good. Not bad, right?
For the long-term care?
For long-term care. Guaranteed issue.
Take part of it.
Helps. I mean, sometimes we can't help we can't solve their problem, but we can help it.
Right.
We can make it better.
That will.
Well,
Yeah.
if you take their social security and whatever long-term care they may have as partial, and then add this to it and come up with a number that you can say, whatever this number is, will bring it on up to.
Yeah.
With the state level.
Well, this would also be advantageous for somebody who has money, wants a little bit of long-term care help, that has enough income coming in to support the rest of it, and would enjoy that death benefit for their beneficiaries.
Well, yeah, if they're healthy, I'm always going to try to go life insurance. That's always the best way to pass money to your beneficiaries. But again, if you're not healthy, I mean, okay, at 70, your 100,000, again, this is not guaranteed, but grows to 186. So what if you die? What if you never use it and you pass 250,000 to your kids? Very cool.
If you answer your health questions before you start talking about products, it eliminates some of the products. And you can say, this is why I'm not showing you this. This is what fits.
Right, well, I have a couple in my head that I'm asking questions
Yep.
for.
See, so that's just for a single person, right?
only single.
You do a couple, but you have got two separate.
You'd have two separate policies, and this is again, only non-qualified money.
What would be one thing that would disqualify that one, like, I've got one that has 2 high blood pressure medications and then one that has a thyroid.
They'll actually get, like a next annuity care from One America. You know, so basically the best thing in the next scenario is to send the health questionnaire to me. I'll give it to my long-term care team and they'll scour, and they know, again, they work these cases all the time. They'll say, we can use this and this product, here's the quotes, I'll get them to you, and we'll talk about it.
When you tell your client, I'm gonna do some research and run some numbers,
Yeah.
then you call. That's all you have to do.
And then you call, that's right. And then Les and I get back to you. Okay, so here's what I said, we talked a lot earlier about the annuities with developing benefit rider on it. Right? So here's an example of these. So this is, a lot of you have seen this. Let's kind of send out like the 3 best, you know, when we're trying to solve, you know, the income. This column here is just showing, really this page is all it's showing is a personal pension calculation. That's nothing to do with the account value. Okay. But what it does, it shows every year you wait to turn on the payment, it gets higher. And the, what the LTC benefit bumps up to. So for example, what American Equity, if it's joint, if you're doing joint income, well, then the benefit increases by 50%. Okay, they're based on 2 of 6 ADLs. That helps their problem, right? Makes it better. No underwriting. North American, it doubles. To say at 72 again, it doubles, but you have to be confined to a nursing home or like a quality care facility for it to work. So it's a lot harder to get. Yeah, it's more, but it's a lot harder to get, right?
Which one's active?
North America. Here's one I use quite a bit, Emeritus, actually probably American Equity and Emeritus are probably the 2 top ones. Because Emeritus, it actually doubles even for joint. This product is actually really good for older people. Let's say they're already 72, one of them getting sick. This is a great product because you can wait until the person's sick to turn on. You don't have to like turn the income on and then the cash value for it to spend down. But you can wait till they're sick and then turn the income on. Automatically get the doubler, and actually Emeritus, for example, will double how the cash value runs out, so it collects more than that. And then when the cash value runs out or that person passes away, now it just goes back to the original payment for the remaining spouse, i.e. helps with the cliff compensation, right? But now you're in insurance company's pocket. If the cash value runs out, now you're in insurance company's pocket, now they're paying you for the rest of the spouses. I mean, again, any of the LTC ones are always better, but this can help the problem.
First good in the military.
Yep.
They're losing 100% of pension when they die.
I think that's basically it. I think that's a good summary of how a lot of the products work.